At long last, the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate roster is complete. While not everyone's favorite character got in, I think they've done a wonderful job implementing all these different characters and still making it feel like Smash. As such, this video will be generally appreciating the detail put into these characters by looking at Easter eggs and fun facts in Smash Ultimate Fighter Pass 2. I've made separate videos on the base game in Fighter Pass 1 that you can check out after this one if you end up enjoying it. Going in order of release, we start with the stretchy armed fighter Min Min from the game ARMS. According to Masahiro Sakurai, he had narrowed the choice for the ARMS rep to either Min Min or Ninjara, and it was at the request of Kosuke Yabuki, lead producer of ARMS, that Min Min be chosen. I like that this was actually sort of shown off in the Min Min announcement video. The Smash invitation letter goes from Spring Man to Ribbon Girl and then Ninjara before it's finally claimed by Min Min. As for Min Min in game, I don't have much to say other than she's cool. As for her stage, Spring Stadium, I also don't have much to say. I do think it's cool that the screens on the pillars in the background display the whole roster from ARMS, including the ones added later on as DLC like Dr. Coil and Springtron. I just think it's a shame that we didn't get Min Min's home stage from ARMS, the Ramen Bowl, which is actually an arena built in front of her family restaurant called the Nintendo Noodle House. The next fighter we got was of course Steve from Minecraft. Unlike Min Min, Steve isn't really known for his combat, but they made him work for Smash quite well, at least in my opinion. One way they did this was by adapting his mechanics while still keeping his Steve-ness. Things like giving him no real idle animation and having him place a bed when he falls asleep, it all checks out. They also reuse a lot of sound effects for him, including ones that you might not expect, like he actually moves up and down ladders with the sound effect from the game, and also he even crouches when standing still, which is true to form in Minecraft. His fishing rod makes the water noise from Minecraft when interacting with water in a stage despite not actually doing anything, and also, despite not taking damage, his fall damage noise can be heard when he lands from at least 70-something units up. Now, a big part of Steve's kit is the ability to dig resources out of the stage and then place blocks. Apparently, this required the developers to go back and rework every existing stage so that the blocks could be placed in them. While they did that, they snuck in a few different types of biomes for those stages. Normally, Steve will use dirt as his most common block, but he'll instead mine and use wool when playing on levels like Super Happy Tree, Yoshi's Story, Skyworld Magicant, Living Room. Some of the more sandy stages like Mushroom Kingdom and Coliseum will have sand, which isn't affected by gravity. Also, Summit has him using ice, which is pretty nice, cool? Insert some kind of pun. His stage, Minecraft World, also has its own biome variations. Normally, the variation is chosen randomly, but with the following inputs made when selecting the stage on the stage selection screen, you can get specific ones. Holding L when selecting the stage loads the Plains biome, the Birch Forest is loaded with L and R, Savannah is L and up on the analog stick, Taiga is L and right analog, Tundra is L and down analog, and the Stone Shores is L and left on the analog stick. From wholesome fun Blockman, we got one of gaming's most iconic villains, Sephiroth. As one might expect from the one-winged angel, he is unique in that he's the only fighter whose classic mode consists of only bosses. Another way his utter villainy was carried over into Smash is that during normal gameplay, he straight up doesn't blink. Last detail I'd like to mention is that if he wins a match with Cloud present, he has a chance to say the following line in any of his 3 victory poses. I believe this translates to "I will never be a memory," which was his final line of dialogue from Advent Children. Next, we got Pyra and Mithra from Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Pyra's home stage is the Cloud Sea of Alrest, but the platform itself is actually Azurda, a small titan that Rex calls Gramps. Much like in the original game, Azurda likes to talk a lot, and will comment on all kinds of stuff.
Don't fall apart now. It fell right into that one.
He has specific lines for when Pyra and Mithra get KO'd, as well as when they use their individual final smashes.
splendour of youth.
He will also turn and comment on the various titans in the background, to which there are 7 main ones. To help explain the scale we're working with, in Xenoblade Chronicles 2, various game locations like cities and fields are located on those titans, so they're pretty big. Closer up, there are 8 different characters that can appear around Rex's home. It's always one driver and one blade, though I don't think Tora is technically a driver, but that's besides the point. I should also note that Mithra's down taunt is...
Think you can take me?
Which is apparently a meme because it was something that Ardanian soldiers had said a lot before it was tuned down in a later patch.
You're done! Think you can take me! You can take me! You're done!
I am realizing I barely said anything about Pyra and Mithra themselves, but they're cool. The next fighter to join the Smash was Kazuya from Tekken. Much like Sephiroth, he is a villain who can either wear a shirt or not wear a shirt. He, however, gets to have 2 wings, which is very fancy. Another fancy element in Kazuya's kit is actually his side taunt. It's a move called Demon Wrath, which originated in Tekken 4, and it can actually deal damage and even KO enemies if the stars align. More useful is his character-specific Rage ability, which activates whenever reaching 100% damage or 25% of his health in stamina mode. While Rage is active, he deals more damage and he's able to use Rage Drive. I think what's neat is that while Rage is active, if you are using a controller with HD rumble, so a Joy-Con or a Pro controller, its rumble will actually resemble a heartbeat. Another neat detail with Kazuya is that he is the only fighter in Smash Bros. To not have a victory theme. Apparently, in Tekken they just don't have victory themes. Also, in this game, the announcer from Tekken 7 will provide their voice line rather than the usual Smash announcer.
Kazuya Mishima wins.
As you no doubt know, Kazuya's home stage is Mishima Dojo, and his father, Heihachi Mishima, can be seen sitting in the background. The stage is actually unique in that it's the only one to never appear on Nintendo hardware before being added to Smash. Actually, I'm pretty sure the whole Tekken series is similar in that sense because it's been almost entirely absent from Nintendo platforms. As for details on the stage itself, all I really know is what Sakurai already pointed out in his Kazuya gaming vlog. Basically, there is an inscription on the floor that translates to Kazumi and Heihachi, which is neat. The final fighter we got, number 82 himself, is none other than Sora from Kingdom Hearts. He is special for quite a few reasons. Firstly, he's what we in the business call a good boy. Secondly, he's been long awaited by many fans. As Sakurai explained, Sora was the actual winner of the Smash Bros. Fighter ballot that ran from April to October of 2015. It just took a while for it to finally happen because of licensing agreements and whatnot. Thirdly, as you may know, the numbers 7 and 13 are important in the Kingdom Hearts lore. One of the big bad's goals is to forge the legendary thingy, which takes 7 lights and 13 darknesses. I won't get too deep into it, but just know there's a real obsession with 13 and 7. The little goof that Sakurai and the Smash developers decided to have is they actually paid homage to the numbers 13 and 7. Sora was announced on October 5th and released 13 days later on October 18th in patch 13.0.0, which included 13 new spirits. Also, if you count Pyra and Mithra as separate characters, which Nintendo does based on their numbering and their roster page on the website and all that stuff, Sora is actually the 13th DLC fighter added to Ultimate and the 7th fighter added in Fighter Pass 2. And, of course, there are the 7 different possible character portraits that can appear in Hollow Bastion's Dive to the Heart. I am not saying that it's all planned, but something Pepe Sylvia. Anyhoozle, Sora is pretty cool. While it's a shame that they had to stick with his Kingdom Hearts 1 body and hairstyle, I like that they had the rest of his costumes pay homage to the various games, and Timeless River, with its many facial expressions, was a very nice touch. It's much the same with his animations. He carries crates and barrels like he did in the original games, he has the same animation for swimming and climbing a ladder, and even the brief animation scene when he hops onto the completed Dragoon item is taken from one of the times he was being whimsical. Also, when holding an item in one hand, most notable with smaller weapons, he rests his Keyblade on his shoulder like he does when dual wielding in Valor form. In the original games, spells played a pretty decent role, and during gameplay he can use Firaga, Thundaga, and Blizzaga. And his up taunt has 3 more spells, which don't affect gameplay but do look cool, which are Stopga, Aeroga, and Kiraga. That last one is a reference to all the times Donald Duck let me die. On that topic that was brought up totally organically, it's hard to miss how hard Sora and his inclusion has been cleansed of Disney references. They even went as far as to subtly change the various character stations seen during Hollow Bastion's Dive to the Heart. Donald and Goofy have been replaced by a raft and that one fruit. Riku's picture of King Mickey has been replaced by Sora. Terra's had Mickey symbols, which have been replaced by Terra and Wayfinder symbols. You get the idea. No doubt this is all due to the strict licensing agreement that Nintendo struck with Disney, but yeah. Regardless, I think it's cool to see so many different characters, locations, songs, and general gaming series that have come together to create Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I just hope that Sakurai and his team get to relax before whatever, if anything, comes next in the series. That said, that's where I'm going to end this video. Thank you so much for watching, big thanks to my channel members for their support, and a roster-sized thanks to Pseudonymous Achilles Rhodes and Captain Crayfish for being super fans. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, perhaps subscribe, and make sure to comment down below who you would have loved to see added to the game, and make sure to include a 3-page list of reasons why it was Pepsi Man. Check out my other videos if you want. That's it for this one. Goodbye.